Welcome to Parts of a Song, number 1, verse, chorus, and bridge. The verse, chorus, and bridge are the three most common parts of the song that we will discuss in this video. In this video, we will be discussing those three parts in detail and what they do and how they function. In the next few sections, we will actually, in the course, be showing you how to construct those, put those together, and put your song as a final project or product. So on to the definitions. A verse is a piece of the story which is being told in the lyrics. It is a lyrical theme that starts off the song or story of the song. So it's basically the intro information. It's basically, here's part one of the story. Jack did this. He ran out on me, blah, blah, blah. Whatever details are in there. And it usually has the details of what happened in the story. Songs are usually stories, so that's the first part of it. And each verse gives you a little bit more of the story time and time again. It gives you a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, until finally the conclusion of the song. So the verse is a lyrical theme that starts off the story and continues it. A chorus is the lyrical and melodic refrain that the songwriter writes to keep the whole song unified throughout. It usually has the title of the song, though not always, toward the end of it. So the chorus is the refrain that's hooky, that keeps people listening, that keeps people coming back. It's the one thing that is central in the whole piece, the whole song, that keeps people listening to it. It can be referred to a hook sometimes, sometimes not. But it is the lyrical and melodic refrain that the songwriter writes to keep the song unified throughout. In an instance, I like to use the song Bridge Over Troubled Water. The writer who wrote that song usually had that refrain, like a bridge over troubled water I will lay me down, as part of the chorus, as the chorus to the song that unifies all the verses before it. That repetitive words and music, the like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down, that, or I will ease your mind in the last verse, that is the chorus. That's the repetitive refrain that keeps the whole song centralized. Then the bridge, not all songs have this, but the bridge is a slightly contrasting lyrical theme that is repetitive in nature, or could be repetitive in nature, that sets up the final verse and the outgoing words or music. What a bridge basically is it happens after the second verse and chorus, and it's usually either a repeating theme like, we all praise, whatever, we all praise Jesus 4 times over, and that ends into, that becomes the final chorus. It goes into the final chorus. Or it could be a section of text or section of lyrics that doesn't identify with the verses, but it kind of has a slightly different bent to it, if you will. I think of sonata form and how you have a development section, and then you have the recapitulation. The recapitulation could be the chorus, and the development section is the bridge, where you take themes. Basically you take themes which are in the verses and you exploit them in the bridge, and you kind of link that bridge to the final outgoing words or music, or verses and music. That would be your outro. So a bridge is basically the puzzle piece that fits all this in one cohesive unit. I'd like to think of all of this as a bracket, using the bracket analogy. In the first part of the bracket you have intro music, usually it's the chords or melodic riff that everybody can instantly pick up with their ears and instantly identify as, oh, that's this song or that's that song. Then you have verse 1, which sets up the whole plot, the whole story. Then you have chorus number 1, that's the first time of the refrain. And then you have verse 2, that is the second part of the story. It's a second poem that's part of the story, or second couplet. And then you have chorus number 2, which is a lot of times the same thing as chorus number 1. It may differ slightly, may have slightly altered lyrics or maybe a repeat here and there, but all in all that's usually the same. And then after chorus 2 you have the bridge that connects this first part, intro, verse 1, chorus 1, verse 2, verse 2, to the final verses and the final chorus and the outro music. So you've got the bridge right at the part where the bracket branches out. And that's usually text or lyrics that kind of exploit or have sort of a repeat or development of all the lyrics into one cohesive thing. It could be possibly, if it's a story where somebody's going to get a whooping or somebody, something happens or the conclusion happens, it could conclude in the bridge and then go to the final chorus, which is the final refrain, or it could just be a setup for the final verses in which the conclusion of the story is reached. Any rate, you can break down almost every song using this bracket. Not all songs are going to have the exact same format, but this is the skeleton of songwriting parts and where they might fall in any given song. So I hope that I didn't confuse you too much. I hope that this was enlightening for you, and I hope to see you in the next section. If you have any questions, please feel free to consult the Q&A, and other than that, I'll see you in the next videos.